Secretary of State Antony Blinken and China's President Xi Jinping have agreed to stabilize U.S.-China ties. Summits on each continent. All that remained was Everest. She was just 200 meters. Is there going to be an eddy there? All kinds of unexpected, amazing stuff happening. One brief encounter. That was the last time David and Jonathan were ever together. Now, will you stop for a moment and just take inventory of what's happened in David's life? His relationship with King Saul that once was a wonderful relationship is now been totally decimated. That's gone.
She has
policing problem across America. Part of the process is that the DOJ has come out with this report. It will enter into a legally binding agreement or a consent decree with the city of Minneapolis and the police department. How would you like to see these negotiations for reforms unfold? First of all, consent decrees are good because we do get this kind of in-depth investigation that really only the Department of Justice. Chapter 5, last verse. God is speaking through Hosea. He says, I will go and return. That's verse 50. Hosea 5:50. I will go and return to my place.
And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Here's Proverbs 25:28. The wicked flee when no one pursues. The righteous are as bold as a lion. When the land rebels, it has many rulers. But when an intelligent ruler, there is lasting order and happiness. The ruler who oppresses the poor is beating rain. It's the beating rain that leaves no food. Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. But those who keep the law struggle against them. Evil do not understand justice. But those who seek the Lord understand it's completely. Anyway, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Here we are, 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the show. And welcome aboard. And live chat, I turned that on, and it's totally public, and there's nobody here. This is radio days. I just played a little bit of smorgasbord radio. And it's all in your hands, right? But everyone is so distracted, right? So disconnected by everything. You name it. It's got it. And then you add on wars and rumors of war and plagues and rumors of plagues and starvation and rumors of starvation. It's only going to get weirder, right? If you think things are weird now, it's just going to get weirder, right? Now, John Boy has put up a number of videos about me, and most of them, I mean, it's okay. But two things I would love it if he could do, and that is put a link from his channel to here, Dreamy Dreamland with Sensie Owl Bob, right? And he's never done it. And he always says, go see Sensie Owl Bob, but that's not my YouTube name, right? I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I would, let's see.
Return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. Jesus Christ was rejected in Matthew 12 by the Pharisees attributed his powers to Satan. That's what gives rise to the pardon.
So did you get any of that? I mean, that is kind of what religion is. A squeaky, unintelligible voice, right? And I read from Proverbs 25:28, and the thing is when you listen to Jesus, he doesn't speak that way, you know? Whenever you hear Mark or Luke speak about Jesus or Paul, they didn't even know him, right? They came 100 or plus years after Jesus, right? But that vibration, you could tell, was in them, right? And even in things that are like just the King James Bible, right? And it's been so pasteurized because once Rome, the Roman Empire, took on the trappings of Christianity, you know, and that's when Jesus said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what's God. And when you mix the two, you had a real problem. And that's why our First Amendment, right? It ain't like you can say whatever you want. No. The First Amendment of our Constitution states, no, Congress will make no law that brings religion into the state, right? But everyone's free to celebrate and worship as they wish. They can speak, they can join in fellowship, and they can also bring regress to the government. That's the First Amendment. It's a lot more deeper than, you know, you get to say what you want to say, right? So here we are, 18 minutes and 18 seconds here at the show, and everyone who's watching, I hope you enjoy this, and I really want comments. You know, that's kind of the thing, right? So I'm just going to, until someone shows up. Oh, there's two people. Okay. Hey guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensie Owl Bob. Me. Hey, how you doing? You know, we like those likes, their likes. You know, we like to subscribes, all the above. And until, let's say, 5 people show up, or somebody makes a comment on the live chat that I can talk to, we're going to go to this. This is the image you're going to see, and this is what you're going to hear, right?
That's what he says, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. There'll be no sign given but the sign of the prophet Jonah. And that obviously is fulfilled in his resurrection, as Jonah spent 3 days and 3 nights in the fish, and so we have 3 days and 3 nights about here. Obviously a prophecy of his resurrection, but there are some scholars that believe it has a double reference. It also refers to the prerequisite condition of the second coming of Jesus Christ, not the rapture. He comes back twice, once for the church, once for Israel. When he comes back for Israel, it'll be in response to their petition that has to. And when they do, 3 days, and he interrupts the attack at Edom and Petra. In Isaiah 63 describes his physical appearance where he's bloodstained, having fought on behalf of his own. And this is the reference here in Isaiah 16. We'll deal with it in more detail as we get into more detail in later in Isaiah. Petra or Salem refers to the rocky parts of Moab, and it's both a specific place, but it's also a region. Verse 4, you see, his petition to take care of temptations. He would, and hadn't, and then hell. Discrimination, but we should almost not get numb to it, right? But understand things that Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and China, if you have the ability, you keep denied people food, or clothes, or a place to stay if you can. If you can get it for them, or if you can afford it, you just can't. In fact, it's
Too loud?
Too loud.
Too loud. Okay.
Too loud. Thank you.
No problem. A bad person. So, that was just the radio, the background jumble. And see it, I got it pretty low, and the music here is even louder. And it jangled people's nerves. Ooh, it's so. But see, that's what's going on in the world. We are heading towards. I've been talking about this for 7 years, really. The big splat, right? Wile E. Coyote straps himself to an Acme firecracker, a rocket, and shoots himself after the Roadrunner. And he's catching up, and the Roadrunner, they're going on this road along a mountaintop, and they get up to the mountaintop, and the Roadrunner stops, and Wile E. goes, whee, right off the cliff, right? And that's us. And the Acme missile that, he's going up, right? And his little ears are flapping, and he's seeing, way down there. He can barely tell that that's the valley down below. And, and he's saying, oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah, I like this. This is fun. And then the rocket goes and stops. And still he's going up. It's the parachute, right? And then the missile goes, woo, right? And Wile E's heading towards the valley. And he's into the canyon, and the land is coming up faster and faster, and whang! Big cloud, it looks like a mushroom cloud too, goes up, and there's this big rock that he landed near, right? And it's on top of another rock, and a big rock, and Wile E's down on the ground, really messed up. But then the rock, boom, hits him. And then he splat, right? Now, thing is that humans do this all the time, right? There are hundreds of empires that have come and gone. The United States empire is going to do the same. It's already gone, really. That's because it has a big military, but it's at the behest of this hidden hand, right? And one of the things the hidden hand needs from us is for us to kind of sponsor a worldwide war that's catastrophic, but not just, end of human race, right? And so we have two, one in Europe and one in Middle East, right? And both are places where a good deal of the planet's energy comes from, right? And the United States, people don't realize that the NAFTA brought on by Billy Clinton and Woodrow Wilson did more damage to this country than the two worst presidents ever had. And Donnie didn't. Donnie was Donnie, and he didn't. But he is a guy who is a disruptor, right? And so, I would say he's got about 70% chance of winning big, to a point there is no, and a lot of, he's got his base, which is about 40 million people, give or take. And then he's got a lot of people who are just, fed up, and you can see, and they put up Joe, Donnie won in 2016 only because he ran against Hillary Clinton. If he had gone against Bernie, that would have been it. Bernie, and we would have, single-payer health care. We'd not have any more wars. We wouldn't have done half the crazy stuff that Bernie and Joe did, right? Because he had locked up, he was right up to, he had you needed let's say 400 delegates to get, the Democratic Party president locked up. And through all the primaries, he got to about 375, right? And then California came, and Hillary had maybe 120. And then the California thing came, and they had these special delegates, and she won it all. And Bernie was he was getting a little upset about this because he had it locked up, and then bango, there's Hillary. How did she get to be the Democratic Party's? Because they wanted her to go against, and no one even could conceive that Donald Trump would be, even get the Republican. We just had George H. Bush, the most stuffy rhino in the bunch, and so neocon, his son, neocon Georgie Porgy, Pumpkin Pie, he lit up the whole Mideast, but it wouldn't have happened if Bill Clinton hadn't set it up, and so basically we have in '91 the Desert Storm, right? We only went in there to get the artifacts, right? And then we left, right? And we had a air cap, so Saddam couldn't use aircraft against the Kurds. And the Kurds became like a separate country, and they were holding on to a good chunk of Iran's oil for us. And that's why that happened. But that air cap stayed on with Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton, for his two things, killed millions of people with that, right? He just bombed. And so when the Yugoslavian war happened, he actually killed more people with NATO's airplanes than Milosevic did, right? So this all started back then, right? Started back there with Jimmy Carter, where he had lust in his heart, right? And he was being, represented by the Trilateral Commission, right? George H. and George W. get represented by the Masonic Council on Foreign Relations, CFR, and there you go. So no one's saying anything, and no one is commenting. There's, AI and one other person, and I love you, AI. You're like my puppy dog. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So I am, your Sensie Owl Bob, and don't believe a word I say. Look at all my videos and just get entertained. These are just for entertainment, because that's all that matters, right there, right? And Jesus, you read, since I have the Bible in front of me, and I'd rather have the Bible in front of me than in front of the bottom of me, let's see, Genesis, right? So let's read that first innuendo here. 6 days of creation of the Sabbath. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and earth, the earth was a formless void of darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And who was the light? And what was the light? The light was the sun. And who was the sun but this guy right here? This guy right here. He's the sun, right? And if you get into the nitty-gritty of the esoteria of religion, right? And esoteric just means hidden knowledge. Doesn't mean devil worship, sorry. So if you get into the deep part of this, and the King James is devil worshiping as you can get, because they took God's word and messed with it to support their business plan. This is the Roman Empire, right? And then everybody, what allowed the white Europeans, men, to come all over the earth like cockroaches and just eat up the indigenous people was that the Pope said, you know, if you're not Christian and not white, not a male, you're not really human. So you can kill, maim, and rape all you want, take all their stuff, take them as slaves. It's all good, right? Bing. Let's see. So anyway, and it's time for everyone, just as my friend here just binged me saying he's taking his second dump of the day. You gotta go take a dump and clear all that crap out of you, right? We went past 2:22. But anyway, no one said anything except my buddy who reached me on my other device. I'm going to leave now. I'll come back, but I have things to do. So I'll talk to you later.